Hi everyone, I'm needlecraft. This is flosstube number 101, and yeah, as always, I will show you everything I did last week and the plans for next week. But first of all, let's start with the giveaway. I think a lot of you are interested in that. First of all, I wanted to say thank you very much for everyone who took part, who commented. I think there was no one who just wrote pineapple. You all wrote something more, and yeah, I just really thank you very much. I did not answer all the comments because there were a lot. I think I got around 60 to 70 comments overall. So yeah, I will answer all of them because that's what I like to do. You taking your time out of the day to watch my video and to write a comment, and I really want to answer that. It just sometimes is hard for me to actually get time to answer, but I always try to do that. Normally the time while the next video is editing, because during that time I don't like to stitch, so it's a perfect opportunity to actually answer the comments. This time there are so many, I probably won't be able to answer them all during that time. So I will try to do that during lunch break, at work, stuff like that, to hopefully answer them all. That's the plan, at least. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I saw them all. I read through them all. I just did not have the time to answer, to sit down and actually read every comment a little bit more, let's say, intense, and actually take the time to answer. So I will do that, just maybe not today, but I hope during the next week I will be able to answer all of the comments. Okay, for the giveaway, I then had 47 entries, so that's pretty amazing and more than I thought I would get. I tallied them all up in here, wrote them all down, because a few of you did not had spelling mistakes or wrote it in German, stuff like that. So I decided to just tally it up. Next time I probably won't do that anymore. As I said, I started tallying it up handwritten on the first day, and I was so surprised by how many entries I got that yeah, next time I will do it with the YouTube comment picker, so next time you will have to see that you actually write the exact word in the exact same spelling. This time I did it with hand, and I used a random number generator to find the two winners for a Heaven and Earth Designs pattern, and I did. So first of all, the first pattern goes to Marie J. I will write the winner's name so that the YouTube name they have in the screen. And yeah, the second one is Mama Macht's. So both of them are German. That's pretty cool. At least Mama Macht's I have definitely seen on my channel before commenting, so I'm very happy to have you both as my winners. I will put my email address and my Instagram name over here, and you can choose where you want to message me, so we can figure out all the details. Yeah, so Marie J and Mama Macht's, please either comment on the video or write me an email or an Instagram direct message, and I will come back to you and we will figure something out. Yeah, congratulations, you both. And for everyone else, I do plan to do giveaways in the future, or more like past the stash kind of things. But yeah, not anytime soon, and definitely not today. But maybe you have more luck next time. So yeah, that's that. Mary J also had some questions in her comment, so I thought I would answer them. I answered her in my comments, but I thought I would tell everyone because she asked about next year. Do I already have plans? Do I will have such a themed year again as I did those last 2 years? Are there more starts? Well, I will going to have a themed year once again, just because I really like that. And next year will be the year of my oldest projects. My oldest projects are at the moment 2.5 years old. So I don't have like really old projects because I only started stitching about 2.5 years ago. So not a whole lot of super old projects. Nevertheless, I want to kind of focus on those, get a few of those done, so I have more space for new starts. I'm not exactly sure how many new starts there will be next year, if there will be any. I want to get my WIP count a little bit further down. I'm at the moment at 17, but I'm going to start something next week. So yeah, I want to get a little bit lower, maybe below 15, something like that. Between 10 and 15, I think, is a good number for me. So I'm not exactly sure how many starts there will be next year, but we will see that in the long run. Yeah, I think that's everything I needed to say and wanted to say up front. So let's get started with what I did last week. With most of my projects, I'm quite happy with what I did, and I think 2 of my projects I'm not happy at all. So let's go through it one by one. First, let's start with the travel stitching, which for me was the Hello Sunshine Cell by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And I finished it. So I did not iron it yet or anything like that. I just put the needleminder off, and yeah, that's basically it. So I'm now done with my Hello Sunshine Cell. This is stitched on a 28 count even weave that's provided in the kit. I think it's Lugana, and I'm stitching I did stitch 1/1 full crosses. So last time I was still stitching on part number 5, and I have now finished all of that. It's super cute. I'm absolutely in love, and there are 4 trees in the series. Each season there's another tree. This is the summer tree, and I have finished winter and autumn as well. So now there's only spring tree left, and that one will be started on the 28th of October, so next week. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit more next Monday, just for everyone who is interested. Hello Petal, so the spring tree, is the only one not released as a stitch along. So a friend of mine and I, we're both stitching it as a stitch along, and all of you are welcome to join. I showed the parts, I think, how we split up the tree in 5 parts. I think I showed that in my last video, but I'm going to show it again in my next video. And we're going to stitch 1 part every month. So the first part released, or will start on the 28th of October, and then part number 5 will be started on the 28th of February. So the spring tree will be ready for spring. That's kind of the plan. So this is my summer tree, and I'm going to show you the other 2 as well, just because I have them here, not FFO'd yet, because I wait till all of those trees are done before I FFO them. They're all stitched on the fabric provided in the kit, and all stitched 1/1 full crosses. So this is the winter tree, Hello Dear. And this is the first one I stitched, the autumn tree, Hello Pumpkin. So those are, can I do that? Does it work? Those are the 3 trees I have so far, and now in between there is only the spring tree missing. And then I will have done all 4 of those, which will be super amazing. So far my plan is to FFO them as some cushions or some pillows. Still have to figure that out. But if you're with me for some time on this channel, you might know I always have great plans about a phone and never do it. So we will see how that works out. But so far, all of them are stitched, or 3 of them are stitched, and I'm going to stitch the next one starting next week. And then I want to do some pillows out of them. I'm not sure yet about the backing fabric, or from the back, the fabric in the back. If it's going to be the same one for all of the trees, or if I'm going with the season-specific fabric for each of the trees. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet if I want to have them on display all year round, all 4 of them, or if I want to switch them out for their specific season. Yeah, a lot of things to still figure out. I told that in basically all of my videos for about 2 months now. I moved recently, and I'm making progress with getting the furniture up, getting myself settled in. I'm still not there, but I'm making progress. But the one thing I basically made no progress at all yet is decoration. So it's kind of nice to finish them in about half a year. That might be the point where I'm actually settled in and can start with decorating stuff. So that would be a nice time to actually start then doing those pillows and have them for decoration. We will see about that. That's stuff for the future. As I said, the last part will be started on the 28th of February and not before that. So I still have some time. But at the moment, I'm at 17 whips. It will change next week and I'm back to 18. But it's kind of a series, so I'm fine with starting something new, although I want to get my whip count down. Yeah, that's it. A lot of talking about that project. So let's get moving on with some other projects and with my rotation for last week. So my daily project for last week was Sleepy Hollow by Glen & Place. That's the finished piece, and this year I want to finish the first row of pages, so I'm going to cut through around here somewhere. So everything above my fingers I want to have done at the end of the year, which is a lot. So I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. I'm so happy with how much I'm done. Sorry for bumping the camera. Yeah, really happy. What did I do? Well, I completed the border, which means I backstitched those symbols in here, backstitched on the inner side of the border and on the outer side, and I had to do that over the whole border that I stitched so far because I totally forgot when I stitched that side and the top of the border. I didn't do it. So every day I stitched one length of the moon, one length of backstitching, and one length of color. When I ran out of moon, because I have finished everything, or the whole moon on the first row of pages, there's a little bit more on the second row, but on the first row of pages I have everything in the moon done. So when I had that done, I did not stitch any moon color anymore, but instead went with a second thread of just normal color. And on Sunday, I then did some beading here in the border, and there are some some beads in his jacket. So basically, whenever I did one of my color threads, I took care that everything around those beads will be stitched by Sunday. So on Sunday, I then can put those beads in. So that was kind of the plan. That's why I did a lot. I mean, I have a lot of progress for it just being my daily piece. Next time this one comes out as a daily piece, I probably won't do as much every day because it cost me around an hour, sometimes more, which I think is too much for a daily piece. Last week it was okay because I had a lot of night shifts and stuff. So it was fine, and it's an easy project I can actually do after night shift. But normally I don't want to have a daily piece out that long. But I'm really happy with my progress. I did a lot more backstitching in those flames over here as well. So yeah, I'm really, it looks so good. This one is stitched on a 28 count casual linen in the colorway Haunted by Picture This Plus. And the needleminder is from Denka Designs, and this one I actually stitched in anchor colors. It's charted in anchor colors. There's a conversion on there for DMC and for Sullivan's USA, but the original charting was done in anchor. So even with the DMC conversion, two symbols might end up with the same thread color in DMC, but in anchor they don't. So yeah, I went with the anchor, especially since it's easier to get in Germany than the DMC's is. So yeah, I went with the anchor, and I'm super happy with how it's turning out. The moon is actually a Karen Water Lilies. It's called, I think, Lemon and Lime. It's so beautiful, and it's wonderful to stitch with. As I said, I have a small area of moon in the second row of pages still left to do, but I will have used up close to a skein when I'm finally done with that. So that's a lot of moon, but it's beautiful. And next time I stitch on this one, I will actually start on top with the horse itself. I just started with the man this time because I wanted to get to the place where I could stitch his feet. So yeah, that's my Sleepy Hollow. I'm so happy with this one. It will come out for sure at the end of October because it has its birthday on the 31st of October. So it's actually a Halloween piece. It's my most Halloweenish piece I have, and I started it on Halloween, so it will get some attention then. It has to. Just has to. I also did not tell you that. I also have my backstitch threads parked over here because I had still a lot left, but nothing more to stitch on, and I didn't want to end it and move to somewhere else, so I just decided to park it there and leave it for whenever I move further down in the border. So probably sometime next year. Okay, that's Sleepy Hollow. So now let's move on to my full coverage piece of the week. This week it was, Mini Cinderella by Having Enough Design, started with this by Alexandra Daw. And this is the finished piece. So I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So I have no idea how much of a difference you can see, but I'm going to tell you what I did. Overall, I did, I think, around 800 stitches. I did it over 2 days, so I'm not exactly sure, but I think about 800 stitches. First of all, I started with another white color that had less than 150 stitches left in the whole piece, so I wanted to finish that color. There was a big block over here, and then a few confetti stitches over here in the border and some over here. And then I started on the top. Page number 1 is already done, so I started on page number 2, took the color in the top left of the page that was missing, and stitched one length of thread, and then I moved on to page number 3, did the same thing. And then I had to pack it away for the day, so the next day I started back up at page number 2, took the color in the top left, whichever was the first color from top to bottom, left to right, that was missing, stitched one length of that thread, and then moved through the pages. Did pages 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think 6, until I ran out of thread. But I did a lot up here and in that border over there, quite a bit over here in that border. As you can see, I moved a little bit further down over there with some darker thread, and not only the white. And I did a bit more down here and over here. So not a whole lot of difference. If you look at it directly, you probably can't see a whole lot of difference, but I did quite a bit, and I'm really happy with what I did, especially filling in a little bit more in this border and up here in this border. That's kind of cool. I did fill in a little bit more in the 1 and in the 12. So yeah, really happy with what I did. And the fun thing is I actually have fun stitching on this one again. While I was stitching the Krennic, There are 7,500 stitches of krennic in there. Charted with number 4 braid, I decided to go with 1 strand of blending filament and 1 strand of B5200. While I was stitching that, this project got on my nerves bad. I wasn't drawn to this project at all. Now I am, because it's fun stitching with those normal colors again and having that kind of rule to go from page to page and do a little bit progress everywhere, and kind of, especially on page number 3, when I get that color, okay, do I first move my way into page number 2, stitch a little bit more, go back on page number 3, and then move further down? Where do I go with the color? And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. For my year-end goal, I have now less than 1,500 stitches missing, or about 1,500 stitches missing. If that's done, I'm not yet sure if it will actually go away, because if I finish a full coverage piece this year, it will be this one. There's still a lot missing. I'm close to 40% now. And overall, there are about 25,000 stitches missing. So that's a lot. But I think my full coverage projects are all kind of close to finishing my goal. My non-full coverage projects, not so much. So whenever all of my full coverage goals are done, I might bring that one out. Just whenever I feel the urge to stitch some full coverage, I bring this one out. Just to get a little bit more progress every time, and whenever all my goals are finished, I might stitch on this one and only this one. Not sure about that yet, but something like that might happen. It is stitched on a 28 count even weave in light blue, and I'm stitching 1/1 full process needleminder from Danka Designs. Yeah, that's that. And I'm really happy to say I can't wait to get back to this one, because I wasn't, for the longest time, I wasn't super happy to go back to this one. And now I am, so yeah, that makes me happy. That makes me really happy. Okay, let's move to my full coverage fancy lady. This last week was Story Keep the Frog Prince by Have Enough Designs. The artwork is by Melanie Dallin, and that's going to be the finished piece. I show a picture of what she looked like last time here. And this is where I got to on this one. So with this one, I stitched in diagonals of 10 by 10 blocks, as you might be able to see. Basically, I had stitched the first block of the diagonal because it got me to the top right corner. So I just continued in that diagonal and stitched a few hundred stitches, I think 700, down to there. You can see a lot of black now. That's her hair, and I'm so excited that I'm at her hair. And I can't wait to get to her face. But that's not in this diagonal, and I don't think in the next one. So yeah, that's a bummer. But I'm really happy with where I got and how it looks. It looks amazing. This one is stitched on a 32 count light blue linen. And I'm stitching 2/110 stitch needleminder from Danka Designs. So you can actually see the crown a lot better now. I remember when I reached the crown and I super happily told you, and everyone was like, where exactly is that crown? So now you can actually see it, which is amazing. Those first 4 spikes, there will be a 5th one in here. So yeah, that's amazing, and I can't wait to actually stitch the base of the crown and to see how that turns out. So, but we will see how, or when I get to that one, because those diagonals are really long now. They are 2,000 stitches long, so getting through one of those diagonals takes a lot of time, and normally around 4 stitching sessions, maybe 3 when I'm really good, but about 4 stitching sessions. that's a lot. So yeah, that's kind of a shame, but still I'm so happy. You will see this one in plans again. So yeah, that's my preference, and I'm so happy to continue stitching on this. It's so much fun. I'm getting closer to finish my year-end goal. I have about 2,000 stitches missing on this one. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. About one diagonal. So finishing that one off and starting with the next one. That's quite cool. Okay, taking this one away as well. And then we move to the two projects where I didn't do as much, which is a shame. I did a lot on my full coverage pieces where I'm kind of close to finishing my goal, and on my non-full coverage pieces where I'm far away from finishing my goal, I didn't do as much. I will do more whenever all my full coverage pieces are done and I only have the the non-full coverage pieces to choose from. But that will probably still take some time. But let's start first with my non-full coverage piece of the week, which is the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. That's the finished piece, and I'm presently in band number 10, which is a specialty stitches band. So I'll show you where I was last time with this one. And this is where I got to. So, as I said, I'm in band number 10. So what did I do? I finished all those tied windmill stitches. I actually looked up how the stitches are called. So yeah, I finished those tied windmill stitches and started with 2.5 tiny road stitches. So that's where I'm going to take off whenever I go back to this one. Yeah, as I said, not a whole lot of progress. Still happy with how it looks and that I actually got those windmill stitches done. That's quite nice, but I would have loved to finish that band, and it just didn't happen. As I said, I had a few night shifts, 3 actually, last week, and I was exhausted. I was just super exhausted and couldn't stitch as much as I wanted to because I had a hard time getting up and actually doing stuff whenever I was awake. So that's kind of why my stitching didn't go as well as I wanted to. But yeah, that's this one. It's stitched on a 32 count white opalescent linen, and I'm stitching with the cord for dinky dies. There is a conversion for dinky dies, one for DMC and one for Aurora Swan. And I decided to go with the dinky dies, and now I'm stitching as indicated, 1/2 full crosses in the cross stitch bands and the specialty stitches. So far, all of them have been with 1 strand of floss, except for those satin stitches in band number 10. So yeah, those are stitched with 2 strands. I bring it a little bit closer so you can actually see the band I'm doing at the moment. So those are those tied windmill stitches I did this time, or finished this time. There are road stitches that I'm presently repeating over here, and then there are those satin stitches, and those will be repeated down here as well, and then my band will be done. So still a lot of work. Not sure if I would have been able to actually finish this one, even if I did have more stitching time, but yeah, that's where I'm at so far. Can't wait to get back to this one and maybe finish this band 10. This year I want to finish band number 12, so finish this specialty stitches band, then do 1 cross stitch band. The cross stitch band I'm really looking forward to because it's those roses, and I'm really looking forward to do those. I don't know, as soon as I bought this project, whenever I looked at it, I fell in love with those roses. So I'm really looking forward to get started on those. And after those roses, there will be another specialty stitches band, and then my year-end goal will be done. Yeah, for the next about 1.5 weeks before I start Hello Petal, this will be with me as my treble stitching, so hopefully I get a little bit of progress done every day, or close to every day. That would be nice. So I would love to finish band number 10 before I start Hello Pedal. We will see about that. But it would be really, really nice. Okay, next one I did not do a whole lot on was my non-full coverage Fancy Lady. This week that was Raven Queen by Mirabilia. With this one as well, I want to finish the top half, and I think the top half is around there. So everything above my fingers. So a lot of stitching actually. I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. This is where I got to. Can you spot the difference? Yeah. First of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about my video. You might know that normally when I film, I kind of stop the video after every project I announce to kind of put the picture where it was like last time in between two video snippets. And then I basically unroll the project and start my video again to show you where I got to. And somehow I mustn't have clicked the button right and my video didn't start again. So I already talked about everything I wanted to talk about with Raven Queen and it didn't show. So that's a bummer. But yeah, let's do it again. At least it's not the whole video, it's just the part about the Raven Queen. Yeah, everything I did is in this border. I put in some beads to down here. That's all I did. So yeah, basically no progress at all, which is a shame. Kind of feels weird to say all of that now because I already said it before. Last time I stitched on it, I had a real problem deciding if I wanted to go into the tower or if I wanted to continue in her dress. And that's why I wasn't really drawn to this project. And last time I then decided to just go ahead with the tower, start stitching on that. And I fell back in love with it. So it's a real shame I didn't get around to stitch on it this time. I would have loved to, but I just didn't have the time. So I will come back to her this week and hopefully get a lot more done than this week. So yeah, that's everything I stitched on. And the most disappointing projects were at the end, just because that's how my rotation works and I always show it in that order. So didn't want to change it up. But yeah, it kind of worked out that way that the projects with the least progress were in the end. Okay, let's start with my plans for next week. I'm going to continue with my rotation as always. Travel stitching, as I said, will be the twisted band sampler because my tree, I'm waiting to start my last tree. And in the meantime, I'm using the twisted band sampler, hopefully doing a lot on that band number 10. So for my daily projects, or my daily project, only one, I'm going to stitch on the frog prints. So you just saw it. I'm not going to show you the project once again. I'm just showing you the piece, what it's going to look like when it's done. Every day I'm going to do exactly 100 stitches, so one block, which will get me 700 stitches progress at the end of the week, which is very nice and should be enough to get closer to my goal. So that's my daily piece. Then my full coverage piece of the week is Dragon Dancer by Having Enough Designs. Artwork is by Anne Stokes. That's the finished piece. I show you where I'm at. And with this one, for the last probably 5 or 6 months, every time I got this one out, I told you this time I'm going to get a page finish. I'm presently stitching on page number 14, which is over here. Page break is around there and down here. So you can see not a lot missing in here. Nevertheless, I'm not going to tell you I'm getting a page finish because it never worked over the last half year. And I don't want to jinx myself again. So hopefully, because I'm not saying it, I will get it. Doesn't make sense, I know. But yeah, hoping for good progress on this one and getting closer to my page finish and my year goal. This one is stitched on a 32 count Zweigelt linen, and I'm stitching 2 over 1 10 stitch, and there's still a thread I did not cut. Yeah, so going to continue on page number 14 with this one. I go from top to bottom, left to right, pick the next symbol, and stitch until that symbol is done on page number 14. Whenever page number 14 is done and I still have some thread left on my needle, I move in the adjoining pages and continue stitching until my thread runs out. Or if there are no symbols nearby anymore, I just put it back on the bobber. But if there are, I just continue stitching. So yeah, this is my Dragon Dancer. So far, only blurry background, so not the most exciting project. Nevertheless, I love it. And I can't wait to get to the more exciting parts. But yeah, first of all, I have to get through the background. I feel like I should drink something, but I don't have anything up here with me, so we're just going to go through plants and then we'll stop the video and I can get something to drink. My full coverage Fancy Lady this week will be Mini Cinderella by Have Enough Designs, artwork by Alexandra Daw, and I'm just going to continue the way I'm stitching at the moment with picking a thread in each page before moving on. I can reach now all pages. I did that with my last stitching session, basically. The way I have stitched, for example, the threads over here, I can now count to all of the top left corners of every page. So that works now. And yeah, happy about that. And I think if I do a thread on each of my pages, so there are 12 pages overall, but page number 1 is already done. So if I do 11 lengths of thread, I might actually be able to finish my year goal, but I don't think I will be able to do that much. It would be nice though, so we will see. Okay, my non-full coverage piece of the week is Cinderella Rags to Riches by John Elliott. I'm stitching the combined version. This year want to finish Cinderella in rags, and I show you where I'm at. So this is where I'm at with her. Last time you saw this one, I finished the top half of the pattern, and now I'm continuing in the bottom half, going from top to bottom, left to right, taking the next symbol that's missing and stitching that one. Whenever I get the chance, I also will continue with the back stitching. That's all those part threads down here. They are all backstitch threads. In those John Elliott pieces, there's a lot of backstitching, which I don't mind because it really turns out pretty good. So I don't mind the backstitching, but you have to kind of keep track where you are, how much backstitching you already did, what is still missing. So I kind of find it easier with those part threads and to just move along. So yeah, that's her. She stitched on 28 count casual linen in the colorway Fog by Picture This Bliss. And yeah, here we go. So hopefully doing a little bit more in those towels, doing a little bit more of the backstitching in those towels, and maybe even finishing them. That would be amazing, because in those there's still a little bit of red backstitch I haven't done yet, because I probably could have done 2 stitches backstitching so far, and that's not worth it getting the thread out. But when they're done, I will definitely do that. So yeah, looking forward to that. I think I did not tell you Needleminder from Danka Designs. Yeah, here she goes. So, okay, I'm rolling that one up in a bit because I'm close to being done and this one takes a whole lot of time to roll up. And I need something to drink. Okay, so my non-full coverage Fancy Lady this week would have actually been Cinderella Rags to Riches as well. I don't like that, to have 2 categories, the same project. That gives me only 4 projects for each week, and I prefer 5. So I didn't like that, and I decided to just go with Raven Queen again, especially with the little progress I made last week. So I will sit on her again, hopefully a lot more than last week. Yeah, we will see. We will see. Looking forward to stitching on her because I love her. But yeah, hopefully a lot more progress. I think I will go with the tower. I think so. But yeah, that's all my plans. That's everything I wanted to tell you. So I hope you enjoyed. Once again, congratulations to my winners. Please message me on either Instagram or my mailing address. And yeah, I will see you next Monday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you. Bye.